Of all the information offered to humanity via the Joseph Communications that we could consider here, today as our concluding higher contemplation in this module, we're going to look at what is probably the most revealing, pertinent and mind-blowing concept ever delivered by Joseph, a reveal which, when applied to the dysfunctional state of our world and our seeming inability to ever live in peace and harmony with each other and with our planet, has led with many readers to an aha, so that's what it's all about moment. Finally, everything makes sense. As with the other contemplations we've considered in this module, having first placed ourselves in a receptive state of spiritual awareness, we will need to review today's information in a setting that is conducive to our intention, which is to broaden our spiritual knowledge and understanding. So we're going to return to our inner sanctuary today and once again replace our usual furnishings in the main room there with surroundings that place us at the center of the creative energy of the universe, as we did in parts 2 and 4 of this module. And so, in preparation, please relocate to your usual meditation spot, relax and take control of your body as you've done regularly throughout this course. Then, once you've done that, take yourself in imagination down the grassy meadow that leads to your inner sanctuary. Go in, sit down in one of your comfortable armchairs there, then transform the surroundings in your main room with a single powerful thought that instantly places you at the center of the universe, surrounded by spectacle, energy and majesty. I'll leave you for a couple of minutes to set all this up for yourself, and when I rejoin you, we'll examine today's concept in a state of quiet contemplation. At this point, you should be ready to turn your whole attention to examine and to consider, as the spirit you really are, the subject of today's higher contemplation, which is the fall. As you continue to relax, I'm going to ask you to join me as I relate a short story to you. I'm going to ask you, as I do so, to consider that not only are you in reality a spirit being undergoing a human adventure, but that at your core and in origin, you are even more than that. You are also angelic in nature. You are, in fact, an angel. Now imagine this. Long ago, a small section of the angelic host, a small group of creative angels, decided for reasons they considered to be good and right and proper that there was a better way to evolve creation than the established method used, tried and tested throughout the universe, and that this new method, their method, would work incredibly well. That this was a wonderful new way of doing things, and that this new method of creating would not only enhance the rest of the angelic host, but would also bring greater experience to the source, his, her, itself, to divinity, to the source's established way of creating. Now imagine that as a result of this proposal for a new way of working, of creating, a lengthy debate took place, a debate that continued on for millennia as we measure time, with this small group of angels remaining absolutely certain that their new way of working was a great idea, and with the rest of the angelic host around them gently advising them that no, it wasn't, that it wouldn't work, and that it would cause many, many problems for them. Back and forth this debate went, until finally the small group of angels informed the rest of the angelic host that they had made a decision, that they had listened to and considered all that had been said and had weighed all the evidence, but had decided they were going to go ahead and do things their way anyway, as they knew that they were right. At this point, they speeded up the normal way of creating physical matter in their small corner of the universe, in this corner of the universe, around and on Earth to be exact, but things did not go well. As a result of speeding up creation, they unbalanced things here, and as a result of that, life here instantly changed, and not for the better. The small group of angels living their life on Earth instantly lost their conscious connection to divinity. It was still there subconsciously, but consciously it was broken as a result of their actions. This was not in any way a judgment from Source, from divinity. It was their new way of working that disconnected them from their end, from their origins, and caused them to lose their way. They forgot who and what they actually were and why they were here. As a result, the concept of lack came into being on Earth. The group of angels involved in the fall approached their experiences on this planet from a physical, a material viewpoint only. Their spiritual origins were, for the most part, completely buried and forgotten. They felt they needed to take power and possessions from others in order to survive. The preservation of self became all important. They abused and used and exploited other forms of life, and as thousands of years passed, they subconsciously maintained and insisted that their original decision was the right one. They refused to abandon that original mistake, and as a result, life on Earth fell into a repeating negative pattern of pain and suffering and destruction. Peace and harmony became mere concepts, concepts that can never return to this planet as long as the angels in human form, you and I, hold on to our original belief that we were right to alter things. Finally, imagine, consider that there are only two things that can release us, free us from the effects of the fall. The first is to recognize and let go of that original belief that we were right, and to consciously work to investigate and reconnect ourselves with our spiritual origins. The second is to acknowledge the transformative power of the divine light energy that we can each generate and stream from our hearts. Bring enough of that light energy into this world daily on behalf of ourselves and others, and we transform it. And cruelty, oppression, power-seeking, lust for control, and desire to take at the expense of others all disappear. To sum up, and in short, the fall is a term that Joseph applies to a complex decision and action taken by angelic beings, us, millions of years ago, which resulted in a cataclysmic change in vibration that plunged the Earth into a darkness we and the planet are still suffering from and feeling the effects of. This change in vibration separated us in conscious thought from our God heritage and resulted in the negative, violent, power-hungry world and society we currently live in. Now it's time, still operating within your inner sanctuary's main room, to gently turn your attention back to the image of the universe all around you, and with a single powerful thought to let go of that vision and to replace it with the usual interior decor of your inner sanctuary so that the room changes instantly back to its default state. In your imagination, get up from your armchair, go over to the door, go through it, close it behind you, and walk peacefully back from your sanctuary through the grassy meadow to the point at which you began this meditation. Now, slowly and in your own time, bring yourself back to everyday consciousness, remembering to take the time to carefully close and seal your chakras as you do so. The major contemplation we've just considered together is, as with the others I've introduced you to in this module, yours to accept or to reject. The choice is entirely yours. If you find yourself moved in some way by this concept, please take it into your heart mind as often as you need to in meditation to see if it rings true with you. And if it speaks to your spirit, allow it to expand and refine your spiritual understanding and to enhance and refine your life's perspective. The Fall is the subject of a complete book by Joseph, and that volume is of such relevance to your understanding of why things are as they are here and what we can do to put things right. We've made it available to listen to absolutely free on our YouTube channel, The Joseph Communications. Hard copy, ebook and audiobook versions are also available, with all proceeds from these being used to further awareness of the communications information. No monies are taken personally. Lots to think about today, I think you'll agree. I do hope you'll join me in part 7 of this module for The Lighthouse, Joseph's concluding meditation in this module, which will enable you to help and illuminate every soul on earth and the planet itself. If you haven't already, why not subscribe to this channel and hit the bell to be notified of the remaining parts in Module 6 and to access earlier modules. And please also consider subscribing to our other channels, which feature many more videos and spiritual perspectives from the Joseph Communications, the Band of Light and myself. Links can be found at the end of this video and also at the bottom of the channel page.